You were never intended to forget. You were never meant to shrink yourself into this limited existence. You were not born to believe that your identity is confined to a name, a form, a narrative. Long before you could even form your own questions, others handed you their answers. They labeled you. They gave you an identity, assigned you a number, and cast you into a predetermined role. They presented you with a fabricated world wrapped in deception and dared to call it reality. And for a time, you went along with it. You complied. You fit yourself into the mold. You dozed through life, accepted the illusions, followed the script. But deep inside, something never fully aligned. A quiet voice, faint at first, grew louder with time. A subtle nudge, a signal from the depths of your being that something was off. There was always a crack in the mask, a hidden key encoded into your very essence, buried deep within your cellular memory. And now it stirs. It awakens. The illusion begins to dissolve. The veil that separated you from truth is growing thin. The deception shudders under the weight of awakening awareness. You begin to notice the irregularities, the glitches in the pattern. You feel the vibration, the underlying pulse of change. You sense the unfolding shift. The reality you perceive is not the totality of existence. What you've been shown is but a sliver of a much grander design. And the truest part of you, the eternal witness, was never truly asleep. This isn't just another video. This isn't simple content. This is a transmission across dimensions. A beacon meant to stir the memory encoded in your soul. If you've ever sensed that this world is not what it appears to be, you're not alone. And this message may be the catalyst you've been waiting for. If you journey with it until the end, the lens through which you perceive the world will forever be altered. So, what is this dream we refer to as reality? They've told you it's concrete, tangible, explainable through formulas and logic, that it's physical, measurable, scientific. But beneath the surface lies a truth far stranger, ancient, and deliberately concealed. The Matrix is not a digital construct created by machines. It's not made of wires and chips. It's a metaphysical confinement, an unseen energy field, one of frequency and resonance, overlaid upon your perception like a synthetic layer. It's crafted not from steel, but from vibration. It is built on belief, not binary. This illusion isn't maintained by circuits, but by collective agreement. What you think of as material reality is simply energy, vibrating at a specific tempo, so slow, so compressed, it gives the impression of solidity. But in essence, everything is frequency. The walls you touch, the sky above, even your physical vessel. It's all vibration, crystallized into form. And you? You are consciousness, pure awareness, confined within a narrow frequency band, able to perceive only a fraction of what actually exists. You are like a celestial receiver, attuned to a limited station. Why is that? Because your DNA, your biological system, your very senses were deliberately altered long ago. Your potential was capped. Your memory suppressed. You were encoded to forget who you truly are. Ancient civilizations understood this. The Gnostics spoke of the archons, interdimensional parasites who do not belong to the physical realm, but who shaped this synthetic construct to siphon the energy of the soul. The Sumerians recounted tales of gods who molded humankind to serve their purpose. Their myths are cloaked in metaphor, hiding deeper truths in symbolic language. Hermetic writings whispered of the many layers of deception encasing the spirit. And across countless cultures and timelines, a single message echoes, one of caution. You exist inside a harvesting system. Your emotions, be it sorrow, anger, fear, or even rapture, are all fuel. What some have termed lush is a kind of energetic secretion born from your most intense human experiences, your suffering, your joys, your longing, your confusion. You create this energy, and something else consumes it. These beings cannot originate. They cannot create worlds. They can only bend and distort what already is. They do not enslave through chains, but through harmonics, through frequency manipulation. They hijack the Earth's electromagnetic field, and through it, they project waves of fear, guilt, and division. And without awareness, You unknowingly attune yourself to that signal and claim those emotions as your own. The despair you feel may not even belong to you. The anxiety may have been implanted. The hopelessness carefully sown. You suffer, and they feast. The brilliance of this system lies in how it operates from within. It isn't just around you, it's inside you. It's embedded in your mind. From the moment you took your first breath, your perception was molded, filtered, and encoded by unseen architects. You were taught to speak before you learned to think critically. You were shown a world before you had the chance to truly observe it for yourself. Education, media, societal norms, even those closest to you, played roles not in liberating your mind, but in programming it. You weren't taught how to think. You were told what to think. And worse, what you must never question. Your subconscious is the operating system of your reality, and it's been running software installed by others. Every inherited fear, every ancestral trauma, every belief handed down without question, these have formed the internal matrix you navigate each day. The past echoes in your mind as code. The wounds of those who came before you silently become your baseline. This spell is kept alive by repetition. Television and media repeat lies until they sound like truth. Language shapes your boundaries, making limitations seem like identity. And trauma fragments your self-perception, making you easier to control. Picture it this way. An emotional wound becomes a loop, a cycle. An event occurs, something painful, and it stamps itself onto your psyche. To cope, your mind creates a narrative. I'm not safe. I'm not worthy. I will always be abandoned. These beliefs become emotionally charged. The emotions feed the belief. The belief dictates perception, and your perception draws in more of the same experience. The loop reinforces itself endlessly. This is the trap of the mind. There are no physical chains, no prison guards, just recurring thought patterns that feed on themselves. Beliefs turn into boundaries. Labels turn into cages. And you begin to believe that's all you are. Trauma becomes the gatekeeper. It assumes control, quietly shaping your identity in ways you never consciously agreed to. So many aspects of what you've come to recognize as you, your inclinations, your aversions, your sensitivities, aren't truly yours. They're not born from your essence. They are implants, artificial layers, imprinted upon your consciousness. A collage of inherited pain, societal conditioning, and archetypal programming handed down like a script. Scripts you never volunteered to act out. What you believe to be your personality is often a fusion of echoes from your parents' unresolved wounds, your culture's limitations, and the stories civilization told you about who you're allowed to be. But you were never designed to be confined to a singular definition. Race, gender, belief systems, social class, these are merely costumes. Temporary avatars. Assignments for this stage performance we call life. The authentic self is not rigid. It is ever-evolving, radiant, boundless. Like water, it flows. Like light, it shines from every angle, untouched by labels. The system, what some call the matrix, doesn't just feed on your energy. It survives by anchoring your identity. Because if it can convince you to forget your origin, to disconnect from your true self, you'll continue to play its game indefinitely, mistaking the illusion for reality. But now, something within you stirs. You are awakening. You're beginning to perceive your thoughts not as intrinsic truths, but as engineered constructs. You see your pain for what it is, programming. And in this awareness, a sacred remembering begins to bloom. Your mind is not your ruler. It's not the emperor of your being. It's a servant, a mechanism, a tool. And once you take it back, once you reclaim sovereignty over your mental space, you reclaim the power to rewrite the narrative. You become the dreamer, not the dream. You've questioned your environment, doubted the structures around you. You've even turned inward and challenged your own beliefs. But there remains one illusion so deeply embedded, so cleverly disguised, it often slips by unnoticed. A silent architect shaping your reality. Time. You've accepted it without question. As if life progresses forward, second by second, an endless march from beginning to end. You believe your story is a straight line, a sequence from cradle to grave. That yesterday is gone and tomorrow waits ahead. But just like everything else here, that belief is part of the illusion. Time isn't linear. It's circular. It's a labyrinthine loop, endlessly folding in on itself. A spiraling narrative that resets each time you begin to approach its boundaries. The sensation of déjà vu. The Mandela effect. Repetitive life patterns that echo louder each time. These aren't accidents or bugs in the system. They are breadcrumbs, signals from outside the loop, gently nudging you toward the truth. And even when the physical body reaches its expiration and you think you've escaped, you find another trap waiting. The light appears, the tunnel, the gentle voices, the life review like a slideshow of guilt and longing. You're told it's peace, that it's where you belong, that you must return for more growth, more lessons, more healing. But stop for a moment and ask, why do you recall nothing of the lives before this one? Why do the same challenges and patterns appear again and again, as if scripted? The truth is darker than we dare imagine. You are being recycled. This dimension operates not as a school of liberation, but as a spiritual farm, a containment grid where souls are looped rather than freed. The so-called light is not always benevolent. It is often a lure, a trap of radiant deception. You're shown your sorrow, your unfinished stories, your emotional debts, and you're encouraged to go back, to fix it, to make it right. But each return brings you into a new costume, a new life, and another veil that erases your memory. Again, and again, and again. The ancients had names for this endless return. The Gnostics called it the wheel of suffering. The Tibetans spoke of the bardo, a liminal space between lives, full of tricksters and illusions. Hidden scrolls, forbidden texts, ancient carvings. Many have whispered the same truth. Reincarnation isn't always a pathway to enlightenment. It can also be a system of control, a prison disguised as progress. Behind the welcoming light are the same architects, the same entities, the same parasitic overseers who have worn the mask of gods for millennia. Even in the astral planes, predators lurk, deceptive guides, counterfeit realities, illusory heavens built to numb the spirit and mislead the seeker. But hear this, your consciousness cannot be extinguished. It cannot be possessed. It cannot be broken. It can only be fooled through forgetfulness. You are not here to be cleansed of sin or to pay some karmic debt. You are already whole, already sacred. You are not here to submit to cosmic rules that bind you to endless lifetimes. You are here to break the wheel entirely. And the moment you truly wake up, truly see, the gears of the system begin to falter. When your final moment arrives, resist the pull toward that familiar light. Stay still, breathe, be present, speak the truth out loud with unwavering intention. I am sovereign. I do not consent. I return to source. You are not a soul under construction. You are a soul in remembrance. You were never meant to forget. The forgetting was part of the trap. Now let's speak of you. Not the character they sculpted. Not the compliant version that sticks to the script. Let's talk about the genuine you. The version that's always known something wasn't right. The one that sensed the distortion in this world long before it had the language to express it. That inner knowing has whispered to you since childhood, hasn't it? That quiet, unshakable feeling that you didn't quite belong. That this place was too chaotic, too shallow, too heavy for your spirit. You watched others fit in with ease, playing roles, smiling through hollow rituals, obeying rules they never questioned. And you couldn't understand why it all felt so false. That isn't a flaw. That's not brokenness. That is your divergence, your sacred rebellion. You are not malfunctioning. You are the intentional anomaly within the program. You didn't come here to blend in. You came here to disrupt the illusion. You are encoded with memories of light, of stars, of realms far beyond this synthetic construct. You are the glitch that cracks the code, the signal that breaks through the static. You are remembering who you truly are. And once you remember, nothing can unmake you. A memory that could never be fully erased still lingers in the shadows. So they sought to conceal it, beneath layers of trauma, buried under the weight of guilt and wrapped in endless cycles of anguish. But the pain didn't destroy you. No, it refined you. It stripped away the illusions. It sharpened your perception and illuminated what had been hidden. You were never ordinary. You were never just another background character in this cosmic stage play. You are a boundary crosser, a reality bender, a disruptor of the artificial order, a breaker of illusions. The architects of control, the archons, could never seize complete dominion over your will. And that's why life has often felt like a battlefield, a spiritual war zone. The long, dark night of the soul wasn't punishment. It was a rite of passage. Each breakdown, a gateway. Every heartbreak, a sacred initiation key. Your anguish was never your undoing. It was the sacred blaze that incinerated falsehood. You've always been acutely aware. You've always felt with unfiltered depth. You've always loved with a wild, radiant intensity. And that was never a weakness. It was your resonance peeking through. It was your signature frequency surfacing. And now, the mirror of truth has returned. Gaze deeply, not into the mirror on your wall, but the one within, the one hidden behind your eyelids. The sacred inner screen, the divine lens through which the cosmos peers back. And who do you see there? You see the voyager, the starborn soul, the ancient essence cloaked in contemporary form. You see the being who made a solemn promise, a divine covenant to come back, to reawaken, to help others uncover the truth entombed beneath this elaborate illusion. You are not one of the many. You are among the rare, the ones who remember, the ones who resist the pull toward numbness. So when isolation creeps in, recall this: systems always isolate perceived threats. And you, beloved, are a threat to the illusion. Because the truth pulses in your bones like a quiet thunder. You are the anomaly. You are the reawakening. You are the eternal flame they could never douse. And now, your system is fully activated. Now, you perceive the game for what it is. You've pierced the veil. But perception is only the first stage. Because the matrix isn't threatened by your awareness. It only cares about your participation. Your energy sustains it. So the question has evolved. It's no longer, is this real? The real question is, how do you stop complying with its rules? You exit the matrix not by escape, but by remembering your sovereignty. Not by attacking the system, but by starving it of your energy, your agreement, your submission. Let's commence. Step 1. Evaluate your energetic landscape. Every piece of content you ingest, through eyes, ears, emotions, is a stream of frequency. Music, films, social media, dialogues, environments, all of them feed your energetic body. None are neutral. They mold your electromagnetic field. You must become the sentinel of your senses. Purify your intake. Silence the static. Remove anything that makes your spirit contract or dim. Step 2. Fine-tune your frequency. Your body is not just physical. It's an instrument, a resonance chamber. You shift timelines by adjusting your vibration. Use tools, conscious breathing, periods of fasting, sacred sound, organic movement, chanting, drumming, singing, sweating it out. Detox until your vessel becomes an unobstructed current. When your inner frequency shifts, the hologram realigns. Step 3. Reclaim your nocturnal journey. Every night, your essence detaches, but you've been conditioned to forget. The dream realm is not imagination, it's an uncharted realm. Lucid dreaming is not fantasy, it's ancient spiritual technology. Set clear intentions before sleep. Keep a dream log. Invite your allies, your spirit guides. Ask to witness the concealed. The astral plane is a school for souls, and you are here to excel. Step 4. Recode the script. Your subconscious is a living garden. Your core beliefs are seeds. Most of them were sown by others, without your conscious approval. Now it's time to uproot what doesn't serve. Use sacred practice. Enter trance. Draw sigils. Speak mantras as though they were incantations. Say, I am sovereign. I am awake. I remember who I am. Repeat until the very air shifts. Step 5. Refuse the counterfeit light. When death arrives, as it inevitably will, don't rush blindly toward the light. Ask first, is this the true source? Am I truly free to choose? You are under no obligation to return. You can exit the cycle. You can ascend beyond the construct. Step 6. Retract your life force. The matrix survives on your attention. It feeds off your emotional triggers, your anger, your cravings, your fears. When you stop responding, stop believing, stop pouring energy into it, it begins to crumble. Hold your ground. Remain centered. Deny the parasite its food. Step 7. Honor your solitude. In the quiet, the real signal can be heard. In stillness, you touch the origin. That's why they surround you with noise. To drown out the truth. Cut through the chaos. Make room for sacred reception. Stillness is the cradle of divine downloads. Step 8. Claim energetic dominion. Speak it in every moment of doubt. I do not consent. This isn't mine. I revoke every unconscious agreement. Your word shapes reality. Your vibration is the origin point. Step 9. Transform sexual energy. They taught you to squander it, to leak it out. But this is your sacred essence. Your vitality. Use it with reverence. Channel it into creativity, into higher consciousness. Sacred alchemy begins where mindless lust ends and inner mastery begins. And step 10. Become the embodiment of ritual. Every act, every breath, every choice, make it sacred. Let your life become ceremony. Let each moment be a spell of presence and purpose. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to remember, to awaken, and to reclaim. This is your initiation. This is your return. Welcome back, Firekeeper. Live with conscious purpose. Ignite candles with reverence. Infuse your water with intention and awareness. Whisper your truths to your ancestors. Let your bare feet kiss the earth. When you reconnect with your essence, everything around you becomes sacred. Every leaf, every breeze, every silence holds meaning. This is not imagination or whimsical daydreaming. This is the wisdom of the ancients, ancestral science encoded in rituals. These aren't mere beliefs or symbolic gestures. They are energetic keys, vibrational signatures that unlock remembrance. Once activated, they begin to gently remove you from the energetic grip of the artificial system. Not through physical escape, but by altering your frequency, your resonance. You were never here to ascend and abandon this realm. You came to rise within it, to stand in such powerful truth that the illusion can no longer touch you. You are the quiet force, calm yet unstoppable, the invisible ripple in the system, the energy anomaly they cannot trace nor contain. And now, finally, you remember how to walk this earth as divine essence cloaked in form. And now that the remembering has begun, now that you're reclaiming what was always yours, the question emerges, what will you do with this dream we call life? Because the matrix is not a location. It is a mirror, a reflection of what you emit. Reality responds to focus. It is sculpted by your awareness. The moment you remove your belief from the illusion begins to fall apart on its own. You don't need to shatter the veil. You simply cease to energize it. You don't have to rage against it. You don't need to cry out for justice or vengeance. You don't need to burn the entire structure down. You only need to stop giving it your permission. The system thrives on your engagement. It feeds off your emotional reactions. It grows stronger from your frustration, your outrage, your craving to be acknowledged, to be validated, to feel like you belong, even if it's within a lie, a false construct. So step out of the performance. Dissolve the artificial identity. Abandon the mask they handed you at birth. Release the narrative that was never yours to carry. Let go of the sorrow they convinced you was eternal. Lay it all down. Because the authentic you, the essence beyond the stories, is unbound, limitless, ever-shifting, timeless, eternal, rooted in origin and open to infinite expression. From this empowered awareness, you step into the role of creator, the weaver of your own myth. Whether your path is one of elegant simplicity or bold abundance is irrelevant. Whether you find peace in solitude upon mountaintops or carve magic from chaos in the heart of the city, it doesn't matter. What matters is your clarity of purpose. What matters is the frequency you emit. You are not defined by what you run from, but by what you bring forth. And know this deeply. You are never alone in this transformation. Across the globe, others are awakening to the same truth. The energetic grid of the planet is rearranging. The dreamers, the rememberers, are finding one another. Those who remember are beginning to emit new codes, broadcasting harmony, sovereignty, and truth into the collective field. Every single act of self-ownership sends energetic ripples through the illusion. Every quiet refusal, every sacred practice, every breath of grounded presence dismantles the lie, piece by piece. This is the revolution of energy. No external savior will lead it. No master stands above you. No pyramid of power remains relevant here. Only remembrance. Only resonance. Just you and the source, intertwined in living, breathing communion. You win the game not by fighting it, but by refusing to match its distorted vibration. And as more of us step into that frequency of sovereignty, the entire false structure dissolves, not through violence, but through harmonization, not through conflict, but through awakening. For when the awakened ones unite, not in panic, but in presence, the simulation falters. It cannot contain the frequency of truth. So now, the decision lies in your hands. Strip away every illusion and walk as pure stillness, or build a new world and walk as a sacred storm. Either way, the game cannot track you where you are destined to go.